Welcome, Natasha. Thank you so much for taking out the time and talking to us.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Great. So, Natasha, you're somebody who did not have a formal training in nutrition. It's something that has come to you much later. And you went into this line, trained yourself, got yourself certified. Tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us what drove you into it and what got you to this point.
So I actually was trained in journalism, in fashion and lifestyle journalism, and I began my career with the media,
Oh,
which was uh, really hardcore. And anyone that works in the media will tell you how schedules are basically 24-hour cycles, and you don't get days off really. You don't really get much time to yourself. But at that point, I was young, so I didn't feel it as much in my body.
yeah.
But then as I approached my mid 20s, I realized that, certain issues started to crop up. Just not feeling great. But we tend to kind of, just close our eyes, ignore how we feel, and just kind of like power through every day. And I see that I recognize it in myself now. But I also see it in people that I know on an everyday basis, just powering through whatever, kind of ignoring the cues that your body gives you.
Right.
And so then I also had gained a lot of weight. And there was a point, I think it was on my 24th birthday, that I weighed myself and I realized I was the highest weight I'd ever been. Um, and I was also on a solo trip at that time. I was in Taiwan, in a place where I didn't know people and didn't speak the language and all of that. So it was a nice introspective sort of like getaway for myself, a bit of a challenge. And then I just realized that, I mean, in that solitude, probably I made that decision that I needed to get back on track. So I continued to do what I was doing in terms of job, but then I decided to start making some changes, started doing some research to find out what was causing my problems. Um, and that's how it came across. Now, many years later was when, during COVID again, I was working in a full-time job. Because of COVID, I discontinued that job because of many reasons that were going on in the organization. A lot of businesses did face a lot of issues. And so I decided that instead of sticking on in such a scenario, being in a full-time job, I decided that I would cut down and just start to freelance and like continue in my line of work, which is still journalism. And I then, because of the time I had, I then started looking more and more, started doing more research into food, lifestyle, and its effects on you, on your body, on your mind. And then I started to do a few short courses. And when I realized the impact it was making to my body, my digestion, my skin, the kind of results that I was getting from it, I made a few plans for friends and family. And when it worked on them, that's when I decided to invest in a long 6-month certification course and to become certified so that I could help people do this. Because for me, it was life changing. And a lot of it was just to be able to pinpoint, realizing, oh my God, I had no idea that this could be causing an issue which seems to be completely unrelated. But I'm sure we've all faced things like that, with just unexplained aches and pains, a lot of issues. I mean, it differs from person to person, but that's how it was for me. That's how I decided. Yeah.
No, you're right. I think as life goes on, we tend to ignore these signals from our body and land up in different situations. Fortunately, like you said, you took a decision and you did something about it. But as somebody who's seen both sides of it, right? You were busy and you were in a very demanding job, and now you're doing this full time, taking care of your health and investing in your nutrition. It's a full time job. You've got to take care of everything, your schedule. You've got to plan your diet. You've got to plan your house around it. Do you what do you think? Is it possible to balance both of them?
Yeah, so I actually have a very differing opinion on this, where I feel like health is something that can come very naturally. It's not even our fault that we end up choosing the wrong thing. A, because we don't know it's wrong. B, because it's perpetuated as normal and healthy. Like, for example, if you pick up like a high protein shake, something like that, even for children, the kind of drinks that are in the market saying this is going to give you energy throughout the day, those are things that are filled with sugar. So that's just one category of food that I'm talking about, right? So the things that are given to us to consume easily off the shelves are the things which are not right for us. And so it's not, I don't see it as a full-time thing to sort of like dive into, that I'm going to make like a 180-degree change in my life. It's really about, A, is recognizing the triggers, things that you should start avoiding now that are going to help you with problems that may have emerged in your life later.
Right.
And to really make small changes, making better decisions. Like if I tell you that, fine, you wake up in the morning, this is your schedule, you wake up in the morning, instead of having tea first, start with a hot glass of lemon water, then have your chai. And instead of, reaching for cereal from brand A, which has a lot of added sugar, why don't you instead switch to brand B, which does not have added sugar? It's things that are small like this. Again, when, if it ever has happened to you that you have decided, okay, fine, this month I'll take a walk every evening, even something as small as that, when you come back from that and you feel like, okay, I've done something good for myself, when it internally makes you feel good, it's because your body has been craving it, your body actually needs it. So it's just about pinpointing and finding those small changes that you can integrate into your life. So in the way that I work with my clients, again, is about a super personalized plan, which is looks at their current lifestyle, what is the entire day like, schedule, family, children. If there's a change in diet plan, how many people are you cooking for? Who else is there in your family? Because it shouldn't add on to your work saying that, okay, now I have to cook 3 different meals because my husband, myself, and my 2 children, we all need to eat something different. No, that is not the approach that I follow. It's stuff that is good for you. It's stuff that's also good for your entire family. And it's knowledge that you can imbibe in yourself, you can spread it with your loved ones, and just help to make yourself healthier, make your environment healthier by making small choices.
That's interesting. And actually, that's very well said, that health shouldn't be complicated. It should just come naturally to us on a day-to-day basis.
You start to pay more attention to it.
Oh, that's amazing. I think that's a lovely advice. Now, for the last third, a tetra nutrition is quite a unique name. And I must ask you, how did you come up with that?
So, through my nutrition studies, I learned that there are 3 pillars of health: sleep, exercise, and food. And all 3 are extremely important and needed to make your body the healthiest that it can be. And so tetra is a word that denotes a connection of 4 elements. So the 4th element, with food, sleep, and exercise, the 4th element is you. And you meaning the individual that is deciding to imbibe these 3 elements into their lives and complete the square and forming a tetra. So that's why I called it tetra nutrition.
Well, that's deep. But I have to say, it's an amazing name. It's very catchy.
It just came. I try to remember sometimes how did I think of it, and I literally cannot remember the moment that it struck me. Well, it is what it is.
No, it works. I think it's got an amazing background to it. It explains itself, and it's catchy for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Thank you so much for talking to us and giving us all these lovely tips. We look forward to hearing more from you.
Thanks a lot.